Hey guys, and welcome back to Germantown. We are going to put ourselves some sunflowers in. Hey John, what's up? Rather interesting because I was expecting to come in here, and for the ground temp to be at 7 degrees, we've got a server status page that I got set up that will show us the ground temp and other stats on the map. And it was telling me it was 7 degrees, which is planting temp for sunflowers. But when I get in here, it says 6 degrees. So I don't know which one to trust. So we're just going to go ahead and put sunflowers in. Ground temp will just rise, so we're in good shape. It's down here picking up a new seeder, or a new planter, if you will. The other horse that I have doesn't do sunflowers, and I decided I wanted to put some sunflowers in. This also gives me a chance to use this this horse seeder from the horse pack. I hadn't had a chance to use this one yet. Plow. So a plow cultivator combo. So one thing to look at is there's the Vanderstand pack in the mod hub. It's got some cultivators that give you a plow bonus, or should I say some plows that you can add a cultivation feature to it in the configuration. And they're fairly wide. I think one's like 12 meters or so. Maybe it's 10 meters or so. But it plows and cultivates. So that might be something you might want to look at. That's the one that you can also put a fertilizer module on. So you could actually plow, fertilize, and cultivate in one pass. Hey, Genetic, what's up? Thought I'd come in here and put in some sunflowers. Some more fertilizer. So do soybeans, corn, and sunflowers. So I may actually sell that other seeder when I get a chance. I want to run it empty out of seed first, but I may go and sell that one. First field I want to go and seed is over here by the sawmill, field 148. So I don't know anything that's bigger that plows and cultivates. There's a 15-meter John Deere plow. We've actually got it here on the server. This one. Technically is a cultivator, but it works. It's listed as a plow. It has the plow function, but it's 15 meters, but it's just a plow. It doesn't cultivate. This one is 11 meters, and it just plows. So none of these These horse ones plow, just cultivate. Oops, oops, wrong button, wrong button. We don't want to unfold that. If anybody goes to the shop, I've got a pallet of seed down there I need to pick up. Don't think it's community.
Let's go.
Hey Joe, what's up? Glad you could join the stream. We're just here on Germantown. This is our multiplayer server that we're doing a economy thing on with the there's my field entrance, the tablet app and all that. And we're doing 21-day seasons, and I thought I would just come on in here and maybe put in a couple fields of sunflowers tonight. That plow is over at American Eagles Modding. I don't know if you can get that one with a rear hitch. I've seen an option. I've never bought it with a rear hitch. Yeah, you can add a back hitch. I've never done it before. All right. Get to town. Earth, why are you going so slow? Let's get moving. I know you got the horsepower to pull this thing. Hold on. Alrighty. Oh, did I? That darn M key. Yeah, I've seen people do the corn cob mix. Seems like a lot of work because you still have to don't you have to feed the pigs everything else still? Hold on, let me check something. Check some Tiger Man. Da, da, da. Ready? Back this thing up ever so slow. I like how this has got wheels on the ends. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's drive control that's making this thing take off so slowly when seating. And I know drive control makes it go slow, but man, this is really slow. According to the requirements, this seater only needed like 220 horsepower, and this Colossus is easily way above that. Can't crank him up. What were you saying?
Some tractors have a harder time with drive control. It depends on how they're set up. Like my MB track is very slow. The Colossus is very slow.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of slow to take off, but when I hook this seater up to it, it's incredibly slow to take off with the seater. But other things, it's slow, but it's manageable. Like I drop it on the field, and I gas it, and it gets up 2 miles an hour, and then halfway across the field, it's 4 miles an hour. Then it finally gets up to 8. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this without stopping every pass. It'll take twice as long. You see what we're doing here with the economy thing is Tiger Man is interested in borrowing a seater. He doesn't want to buy a seater, so he's interested in borrowing one. And I've offered up the seater that I happen to have over at the farm that I was talking about getting rid of. It's full of seed and fertilizer, so basically offered it up to him, saying if you return it full of seed and fertilizer like you found it, and then pay me $200 per hectare that you seed with it, you can go make use of it. It will be far cheaper for him to do that than to even lease a seeder, probably. And it's only right to ask somebody to refill it when they're done, right? So Joe, were you the one that left the comment earlier about the hedges? Hedges should always have no collisions, or was that somebody else? I was gonna write back, but then I thought, nah, I'll just wait. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in two headlands on either end, and then I should be able to just turn on GPS and let it auto turn. There we are. No. I think my kids are up watching something on streaming something. Hey Kurt, what's up? My day was pretty good. I was a little busy with some meetings and whatnot, but not too terrible bad. I got home, cooked the family some dinner, and decided to get on here and do a little farming. I was going to plant just soybeans in all my fields, but then I thought, well, you know, that's a heck of a lot of soybeans. So I thought better of it, and I decided that I was going to mix them up a little bit. I was going to put in some sunflowers and some soybeans. Maybe some canola, not sure. And looking at the seasons menu, I've got till the end of this week to plant canola. So I might not do that. Might just be a sunflower and soybean farmer. Look at the seasons menu. We got another 3 or 4 days to put in canola. Just started the planting season for sunflowers and soybeans. We've got 3 weeks basically to plant soybeans, 2 weeks to plant sunflowers in. Let's go. Let's get moving now. Moving. I'm glad your day was good too. This is the first time I used this horse seeder from the horse pack. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. I wish it held more seed. Man, it barely holds any seed at all, but it holds a ton of fertilizer. And of course, the usage rate is typical, where it uses far more seed than it does fertilizer. Oh, I like the map. I think it's pretty cool. I know there's been some issues that we have found with it. For example, the pig area, the straw plane is floating, so that could be fixed. I think the grass plane, or maybe the straw plane, is also floating down at the cows. I haven't seen that one, but I have seen the pig one. We had a couple fields that had some pretty bad bumps in them, some pretty jagged terrain. I leveled out one field, or I smoothed out one field a little bit. I think we found a couple other fields that could use a little smoothing. We found even in 1.1, doing version 1.1 of the map, we found an issue with a the water trigger at the cows. The pigs, where it was backwards. So you had to be in the pig pen to water, but there was no way to get in the pig pen. So I just got in the editor and flipped the trigger around so that we could water the pigs. So it's got a few little issues to it, but other than that, it's been playing very well, I think. At least for me. My fields. I own I own fields. Well, when we get up here at the end, I'll pull up the PDA and show you which fields I've been farming. Yeah, if I knew how to go in and tweak it, I wouldn't. I'm not going to tweak the one on the server because, well, everybody'd have to download the horse pack again. It's a pretty big download. But it'd be nice if it held maybe 3 times the seed in it, and the fertilizer was about 1/3 the size. I'm going to turn on, oh, not crab steering. I'm going to turn on 4-wheel steer and see if that won't help the acceleration, but see if that helps it turn. I turned off 4-wheel steering, and it makes a pretty big turning radius when you don't have that on. Hey Huntmaster, what's up? That's a lot of mods. You see you got that many mods on the server? Holy cow. Alright, now we're just going to set up GPS. Kick back and watch yourself some farming, right? Should be able to hammer this field out pretty quick once we get up to speed if we don't have to keep stopping and turning. I got cruise control set, and uh-oh, lower it down. We'll have to catch that.
Who dat?
Who dat? Crawling train. Let's knock this back to six-ish. Go. And see how that works. It's crooked? No. That's following the plow lines. It's just maybe the edge of the field here must narrow up. Okay, we'll square everything up and start making straight runs. Hey Red Rebel, what's up? Let's see here. And oh good, we can make these good turns. And it looks like the cedar will come in straight line. Excellent. Perfect. Exactly what I want. Go in cab for a little bit. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Joe. If you've got the straw harvest enabled on the server, that's going to really limit, to some degree, who can who'll be able to play with you. And that's because the not a lot of people, well, I wouldn't say not a lot of people, but proportionally not a lot of people have that. Like when I was setting up this project, I put up a poll with the folks that were going to play and basically see what DLCs they owned. And pretty much everybody had the horse pack. Of course, it's free. Everybody had the coon pack. Everyone had Big Bud. Almost everybody had platinum. There was maybe one or two folks that didn't have platinum. And only about half of the folks that are participating had the straw harvest. So we only have the Big Bud and the platinum and the horse packs enabled on the server. That's one thing to note, is depending on the DLCs that you have activated, you may be limiting your player base somewhat because of that. Now, what server do you have that actually allows you to put in 15 gigs of mods? The server we have here is I'm pretty sure limited to 4 gigs. Yeah, I like the balers too, Red Rebel. I like the balers. I like the bale grabs. The vertical bale grabs I really like for unloading certain auto load trailers that load 4 high or 3 high. I like to use the vertical grabs, and periodically I like to use the horizontal grabs with the bale accumulator. The pellet press, that thing is really slow, but you know, it gives you something to do when you don't want to just bale straw constantly. I guess my price was too steep for the cedar, so he wants your silver dragon.
Actually, the one I'm using is Jace.
Oh, I thought it was Tiger Man. I was asking about the cedar. I see he's not even in game. Maybe.
Well, he said something about going to check something, and he disappeared off the server. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he had kid's emergency. But I figured he was checking the spreadsheet that had all the field sizes on it. So it's like a private server. Because apparently you can, if you have like the disc, the media farm sim, you can run a private server. Yeah, I usually put the pellet press and the tractor in the building, and open up all the doors and everything for, you know, quote, ventilation, and then let the pellet press unload directly into the hopper or the palletizer, and then I just feed it bales, and I pretty much can feed it non-stop that way. Dirty's up pretty good. I like how it's dirty here on the bottom. The pipes are all dirty, but the top's fairly clean. Just warp through this thing. Hey, on the return pass, I'll show you. I really like the suspension on this Kloss. The suspension's really nice. See, we're going to be able to hammer through this field with GPS running. I'll show you this. I was looking at this the other day when I was let's get out of here. I was plowing, but you can see the gas cylinder there is actuating up and down. Saw that. I thought that was pretty cool. Guess there's no gas cylinder on this side. Adam, this is over at FSUK. Get version 1.1. There's a version 1.0 out there also, but get 1.1. Let's see here. Hold on while I put. I need to put on a head tracking, and I can open up the hood. My mic's been muted this whole darn time. So you can see, you saw the detail on the engine and everything. I won't repeat all that. It's good that you found what you needed, John. And Adam, we did find a couple issues with the map. So if you want to use pigs, if you want to play with the pigs, you need to flip the water trigger 180 degrees because it's facing the wrong direction. And depending on what fields you want to use, we found some of the fields are a little, not a little rough. They've got really bad jaggies, spikes in them. I smoothed out field 142.
Can't find a face in this model.
So I smoothed out field 142 because it had some spikes in the field, and I think there might be a couple other fields up there, kind of some of the smaller fields up there that near 98 that may have some rough spots in them, but I haven't been up there to check them out. This is the Kloss that's in the in-game, that's in the mod hub. The in-game mod hub. Light them all up there. Of course, the rear weights. Let's turn around this way. Rear weights are an option, and we could add we could add all these computers if we wanted. I like the older model that had the exhaust coming out the front. Had a big chrome exhaust pipe coming out the front. I really like that look. But I can deal with this one. let's hope I can finish this field with the seed I got. I tried reshade out for a little bit, Joe, but I took it out for basically because I decided that if I was going to continue to do map videos, then I really needed to show the map off based on standard in-game graphic shadings. Because if I showed the map off with reshade, then it may give folks a false impression of what the map looks like visually. Not saying that that the map, that farm sim graphics are all that bad to begin with, but and then the other thing I didn't like about it is I couldn't keep it from fuzzing out my my HUDs. I could figure out how to make it not fuzz out my HUDs, but it seemed like that was basically turning the reshade shading off, the reshade graphics engine off, and everything. So I typically don't. I mean, I guess I could play with the HUDs turned off like that, but I typically don't bother. I typically just leave the bottom HUD up and the clock up. What I'm going to do is we're going to back this down to 9 miles an hour, and I'm going to start picking up the seeder when we get to the ends. We're still going to use GPS auto turn, but I'm going to start picking the seeder up and dropping it down, just so it looks a little better maybe. How's your sheep producing their wool?
They're doing okay. To me, I think they're a little slow, but they're doing alright.
Well, yeah. It's 26 sheep on 21-day seasons, so yeah, they're going to be slow. Because they're still going to produce the same amount of wool if it was 6-day seasons or 21. So obviously they're going to produce it at a lot slower rate. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up here.
Okay, dude, I just dropped your cedar up here. It's back in the ground.
Alright, I see that.
Picked it up.
I just got one more field to use.
And we will drop it down.
I think 10.
There, that worked a little bit better.
Oh, I dumped a box of seed in it, so...
I don't think we're going to get this field done. I think we're going to have to go back to the farm and get more seed.
Back and forth probably tomorrow, so no worries.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to the shop and get the rest of that pallet that I left down there. Before I go and forget about it and someone else takes it.
I need some extra seed.
Well, what I just used, there's almost the whole thing back in it right now, so...
Is it still in the building?
When I picked it up, the cedar, yeah.
Alright, I guess we'll make Maybe we'll be able to make one more, be able to get down the other end of the field, and then we'll have to go get, then we'll have to go get it. Come up. So the Mack seed truck. What's the Mack seed truck? Oh, that was almost perfect. Hey Ronnie, what's up? If you got a mic, you can join me in chat if you want. Now we're using the Buckhorn seed pallets or seed totes. And they're very cheap for seed. You get 1,600 liters of seed for $1,000 versus 1,000 liters of seed for $900 with the in-game pallets. It's hard to beat that. Oh, we're about done. Uh-oh. You're out of seed. Oh, that's cool animations. I didn't notice the folding animations. The unfolding animations earlier. Alright, let's head down to the shop. Yeah, you might find it later after you build the building out or whatever you're putting in. You just might find a random face floating somewhere.
No, I deleted a line and it disappeared. And when I undid my delete, it didn't come back.
See here, I'm trying to figure out what the looks like. There's a road right here between 39 and 40. That's a sell point. Let's see here, the road right up here. Looks like take this shortcut. That's our farm right there. That's my farm. And this road will take me right down to the shop to get my seed pallet that I left down there. There, we should switch that to GPS mode. There used to be a dairy here, just a big dairy building. It didn't serve a purpose, so I took it out and flattened it out a little bit. Made room for another possible farm. We've got 10 farms on the map, all using different spots. The problem with the POW truck is it's darn expensive. The way we started this map is everybody started out with $1.5 million of money, and with that they had to buy their equipment and buy their seed and fertilizer and all that. See, I'm down to $363,000. I think the POW truck is something like 320,000 itself. So that would basically clean me out. It's okay. Field 148 is the furthest field that I've got to go. There's my tote of seed. Go. It's more than enough seed for now. I've got more totes back at the farm. Let's go ahead and look at that. 325,000. Then the wagon. And 20, so that's $340,000 for that combination. I'm not going to be seeding for long, so... And then all of my fields. Let me show you. I forgot to show you guys my fields again. So I own... Hold on. Oh, that was a sneeze. Head tracking. So I own field 148. And then I own all of these fields. This square here. This circle here. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 7, 147, 5, 126, 43, 34. So that's my farm right there. So we're all fairly close. This is the furthest one away. Thanks, Kurt. We're going to go ahead and go straight. We're going to go through Rockhound's farm to get back to our field. Rockhound is at the cow farm here, but he's actually not. He's actually not the owner of the cows. That is Tiger Man. Coming up on field 142, this is the one I had to smooth out. It had some really bad spikes up there in the upper right corner. Kind of like these here. This is kind of like how that field was before I smoothed it over. So obviously you can't plow that. You can't seed over this. Oh, the tandem dolly from the AR pack. Is that what you're talking about? Well, while we're over here, we can see the if the straw plane is floating. They said it was. Let's go see here. So it's not that. I also thought maybe they said it was the grass. Cow barn. Cow barn's down there. And tandem that. Tandem this. Not that. Not that. Oh, he's got quite a pile of manure down here. Wow, that's a lot of grass. That's a big dirty area. Oh yeah, there's the floating straw. I'd fix that, but I don't know how to fix it. Looks like they've got dirt in here too. That really needs to be fixed. Yeah, I guess that would work because it hooks up to the fifth wheel. They are. We passed our road. Passed our turnoff. There it is. Yeah, I should, but I have absolutely no idea how to do it. And I've got a general idea of how to do it, but other than really end up just messing with it and spending hours just screwing around and probably putting in the wrong, making the wrong adjustments constantly. I've not messed with the animal areas. Hey Darren, what's up? I look forward to you posting it, Darren. Yeah, and for me right now, it's not really affecting gameplay. I mean, it still works. It's just visual. So, I was really concerned about fixing the water trigger on the pigs, because that was affecting gameplay, because we couldn't give pigs water. But yeah. I'm trying to minimize the number of times folks need to download stuff. So when they get on, it's not constant like, oh, there's another mod that we've got to download. So if we do this another year, another game year, then we might over the game winter, go in and make some tweaks. Because from what I understand, if I smooth out a field after things have been planted, I understand that like the crop will be floating where the field was smoothed down. So ideally the best time to make that change is when there's no crops in the ground. Let me check something real quick, guys. So guys, I'll let you know that tomorrow I'll probably be streaming Emerald Coast some more, and I will tease you, won't spoil it, there's going to be a pretty major reveal tomorrow night on Emerald Coast. CCS 101 has been busy making some final adjustments to the map, and has added a rather revolutionary feature that has not been seen before in the likes of FS17 maps that I know of, and I am excited to be able to try it out tomorrow and show it off to you guys as a feature of the upcoming map when it does get released very soon. In fact, it probably would have been released already had this feature not become available. So it'd be cool if these latches were animated. I've got a trailer that has latches that when you tip from the side, the latches unlatch and everything. It's pretty cool. I will not spoil anything, Red Rebel. So, if you guess correct or guess incorrect, I won't tell you. You're gonna have to come in tomorrow and see what it is. It may or may not have to do with animals. But I can tell you, it's something lots of people have been talking about wanting. Before we do that, we come back here and fix up this little area on the other side of the field where we didn't drop our seeder in time. The fold animation on this is pretty cool. How the railing there folds down when you fold everything up. But the speed that this thing takes off at. It's like maybe the horsepower rating for this seeder is underrated or something. Because if we look here at our, this is going to take a while. Got 11 guys on the server with all different stuff. See, the AR stuff is rather popular. So let's see here. This one's mine. So mine's got 419 horsepower. And cedar. Oh, are you telling me I missed it? Let's go to shop. And this says it needs 220. But, man, does it take off slow when it's powered on? What's multi-mowing? I know what extra animals are, but what's multi-mowing? Never heard of multi-mowing. Oh, so you've got Soil Mod working on the on a 17 map, Darren? On the 17 edit of Old Ridge? Let's watch this animation again. Folds down, they fold down, the whole thing lifts up. It's in. Then it drops down. That's our first seed. Well, I didn't play 15, so I've only heard little tidbits here and there what Soil Mod was. Alright, So we're going to head back to our farm. We're going to load up with some more seed. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on this field here. And we're going to work our way toward the farm. Basically, for as far as you can see, I own all of those fields. As far as you can see right there. No, like I said, I didn't start playing until 17, so I have no idea what multi-mowing is. So, take this over, slide over. Take it back. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Like on Willow River, there's alfalfa, so that would allow you to mow alfalfa as well as grass, I guess. See how this thing takes off so slow when this thing is turned on? I mean, then it gets a head of steam up on it and it runs pretty good, but man, she's slow to take off. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just seed these two fields together. Well, I guess not. I forgot I had auto turn turned on. Let's put a couple head passes in. This thing takes off so slow. Alright, we're going to pick that up, just spin it around and keep our momentum running. There we go. Pick it up. We're going to swing around and do the same thing here. Yeah, we're just going to keep up our momentum. I don't know why this thing is so slow to take off. Well, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like Old Ridge itself, right? I mean, you had that one all converted over, but nobody wanted to see the light of day. Drop this down here. Well, from what I hear, they're going to be, they're working on seeing if they can get an interesting soil compaction thing going with seasons. And if they can, then that would, I mean, it wouldn't be like soil mod probably. But it could, from what I understand, replace the need for not fertilization, but for plowing. Hey Kiwi, what's up? Turn here and it come back square. No, we'll have a little chunk out, so we'll have to fix those. Hey Roy, thanks for dropping by. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. A little potato texture there. I wonder what that is. Second pass here. Don't miss that area. It's even slow taking off on a hill. All right. You know, he's got that goal of what, 1,000 hours or something on a single save. Sadly, I think it's going to be Farm Sim 19 is going to be long in existence before he gets to that, I think. It doesn't take off too bad when it's turned off. Just when it's turned on. I like the cedar. The way it follows the curvature of the field pretty good too. I'm pretty sure it is enabled, but it takes off slow, but expected on pretty much anything else that I've used. When I was plowing, it took off slow, but expected, and wasn't too terrible bad. Field 148, that field, this field, and I think I want to put this big field 37 into sunflowers. Also, might as well just I'll pick it up. Fold this up. And we'll run over here. So this is my farm. We haven't spent too much time looking around. I really just want the seed. I don't want the fertilizer. Hey Fred, what's up? See, I'm cool with how this takes off. Let's come to a stop. Let's gas it. Oh, we had lag there. Let's stop. Gas it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and then we get moving. And we just slide out. But when this thing's turned on, it's a lot slower. Hey Gabriel, what's up? No, sorry, this is a this isn't open. We've got the tablet app in, and we're doing an economy style multiplayer. So you know, the farms are assigned, and folks have their own money. Let's see how we took off there. So now let's lower this. Let's turn it on. And now the gas is down full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're starting to pick up. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty much where we stay. It's probably because that's the speed limit of the implement. We don't have any trouble keeping it at 8 and 9 miles an hour. Oh, there's a train. Once we get her going. Man, that getting her going. That's what really takes it out of it. That's why we're just doing these loops to keep from having to stop. Oh no, back over here. Left shift key. Yeah, it takes off fine when it's turned off, but when it's turned on, it doesn't. So maybe it is. I mean, somehow it seems to be related with the you know, the PTO, even though the PTO is not hooked up to this. Oh, wonder how this works if it doesn't have PTO. Must operate with some gears based on the wheels or something. do auto turn now on this end. Now we just need to do 2 headlands on that side and we can do auto turn for the rest of the field. Find your face. Hey, town goer.
I heard you couldn't find it.
See, that's one reason why I typically don't do things like drive control or have zero interest in wanting to try gearbox. Is I just want to get on and play. Not really interested in getting on and fighting and struggling with quote enhancement mods. I see lots of other people get on and they just struggle with trying to get things to work or insist on playing with no HUDs but can never figure out why they can't get something turned on or switched over to the right thing, and it's just like you're more frustrated than you're enjoying it. So is it really worth it? Alright, Darren, check you later. True. That's why in the question I've been posing, I kind of been forgetting recently, but the question I've been posing about who people think the most influential modder group is. That's one reason why Seasons isn't the top of my list, is that that while I know a lot of people play with it, I don't think it has significant penetration. I think larger percentage of folks don't touch it because they don't like the game pace, or they think it's too complex. Yeah, I agree with you, because I mean, I think I put like 110 hours on Goldcrest, and I got bored out of my mind, and I started looking at mod maps, and then yeah, it was like, okay. Then it was like, well, let me try to figure out how. And way back then, I was still trying to figure out how to play each map differently to keep it somewhat new. So like I was going to do old streams, and I was only going to, I bought all the fields for just normal gameplay and missions and stuff. And old streams was going to be a pure grass map. And I was going to do sheep and cows. And every field was going to be planted in grass. And then I had a couple other saves on like 4 or 5 other maps. Then I started watching Grizzly Bear Sims do law folds with Seasons, and I was like, oh, what's this? this is interesting. So, a lot of what I learned about seasons early on, I learned by watching him basically profile and premiere the dev version of the mod. Well, I got wheels and pedals, Talgar, but I tell you, drive control still doesn't really hold that much interest to me. I've turned off the shuttle control because yeah, I don't have any problem with holding the brake to back up. I'm not so hung up in the fact that I have to use an accelerator to move. It's forward or reverse. Oh man, I'm running out of fuel again. Yeah, let's do this big field. Sunflowers. Adjust our lines. And watch it take off. Let's slow again. Well, that's fine. To each their own. Just for me, when I was, I haven't driven a tractor for 25 years, but all the tractors I drove didn't have accelerators, they just had hand throttles. So for me, somewhat pushing a gas pedal to make the tractor move forward is weird. We're gonna have to go fuel up at Genetic J's mobile depot here at some point. Wait a minute, I got a wheel on the pedals and I got a keyboard on my lap, and I would say 50% of the time I'm keyboard driving and 50% of the time I'm wheel driving. Hey GTX, what's up? We just caught the edge of the field there. That was a decent hard turn. That was the other thing that I wasn't sure on is the folks that like the truckers that come home and then get on American Truck Sim and then basically drive a virtual truck. That just seemed odd. Standpoint of, don't you want to do something else for recreation? We're gonna put a couple passes in on this side. Once we get a couple passes on this side, we can turn on our best friend, auto turn. That way we don't have to keep starting and stopping the tractor. Is it Outlander? I think there's a couple companies that make those things. Now I know that I know there's one that I forget the name of it, but Grizzly Bear Sims basically was involved with its Kickstarter, and he got his without any issue. But apparently there's lots of folks that are still waiting on theirs from this one company, and yeah, I guess the customer service is a little suspect on it. I don't remember the name of it. Oh, who we got? Tiger Man's coming back. Synchronizing. Yeah, there's times when I don't have a lot of lag. I'm not having too bad lag here. I definitely don't have lag when I'm not streaming. Not too bad when I'm not streaming. And my response rate to the server is low 30s. We spiked there a little bit, but I've got a kid who's upstairs and she's probably watching YouTube or something, or Netflix or anything like that. I mean, to some degree, when I'm streaming, I'm contending with myself, because I've got a 4 meg stream up, and then I've got to deal with you know, the return for the multiplayer server. But then if I got a kid upstairs who's watching Netflix, that's even more bandwidth. Heaven forbid I got 2 kids upstairs and a wife who are all trying to stream at the same time. Then it can get really bad. But typically it's not too bad. Typically on this server I'm in the mid-20s to low 30s. Change that turn. Oh, we're gonna miss a little bit. Stop. Really hate having to type multiplayer. It just totally screws everything. Because I hit the M key and now that's screwed up. The lag hasn't been too terrible bad on this server other than the first day. I think the first day it was pretty jerky for some folks. But beyond that, still turning in the right direction? Okay. Head up. Turn around. Drop it down. Oh, and then we slowed back down. There we go again. Oh, let's see if it catches this little corner or not. Oh, just a little bit of mist. Yeah, see there, I got a little jerky for some reason. Yeah, on the other multiplayer server I'm on, there's a I think there's a guy from Australia on there, and you know, I think his response rate is typically in the 150 range. The server is apparently based in Canada. Usually like the 40s on that one. But he was saying he felt that the server had more lag when AI traffic was on his screen. So we're going to run this. We're going to run the seeder out of seed, or the planter out of seed. I don't know if this is a planter or a seeder. And then we got to go fuel up, and then we'll probably call it a stream. So GTX, you were saying that the LS mod folks were working on a new version of the tablet and I guess the MP Manager stuff. Is that anywhere as close to being released, or is it just still in development stage? Nice dirt on the bottom. No dirt on the top. A little interesting. You'd think there'd be a little bit of dirt on the top. That is game extension, Michael. Game extension has an option to turn that on and off. The default is on, so it kind of cycles between the two. The default keystroke is Alt or left Alt N, but it has to be after typically 8 p.m. to skip night, I believe. I don't think it's 9 p.m. I think it's typically after 8. catch that little flip there. It's our turn. Oh, okay. That'd be cool if you can do that. I think Spectre is still having the issue with his apps disappearing with that missing XML. I sent him a copy of my farming tablet.xml file this morning for him to drop in and see if that does anything. Going to stop here. That. Oh my goodness, let's turn this off. There, it speeds up a lot quicker. Let's look here. What would it be if he Eustace Cedar? This is the cedar we're talking about. $8,000 initial cost. Add another hour to that. Same cost as $11,000. That's the thing, if I'm giving it to him, if I let him use it for $200 a hectare, he says it's going to cost him $11,000 to use the cedar. But if he leases it, he's got the daily cost and the hourly cost to factor in. Running empty. Look at that. Almost there we're at. What it Oh, it's that darn M key. Alright, so I'm gonna put seed in this thing. Well, that wasn't much seed, now was it? I'll park this over here by our seed. Drop that off. Then we're gonna go buy some gas from Genetic J. Oh man, someone drove through a field. Oh my goodness. Look at all that seed. I think you just open up the map. There's a default vehicles XML. And then there's the vehicle section. I think if you just highlight everything between the vehicles open and close tag and delete it. And then save it back. You'll start with nothing. There we got Ken's old tractor just sitting over there. Alright, I think there it is. There's only one gas station on this map that I know of, and it's all the way on the other end. Good old Genetic J there. It's got the mobile fuel trailer here. So we have 82 liters. Alright, so we need to calculate how much fuel we used or bought. Got our handy dandy calculator out here ready. Check out his stash in here. What a well-organized person he is. All right, 739. 739 minus, what was it, 86? About 653 liters times, what, 0.7? $457. Vectors, $471. Okay, we just paid for our fuel. And now we're back to the farm. A little four-wheel driving. Now we'll just follow this road all the way back to the farm. Turn on cruise. Get rid of the regulator so we can see Chad again. Here's another farm that could be used. No one's using that one. Here is a little farm that could be set up. No one's got that one either. These are some of my fields over here. As far as you can see back are my fields. Here we are, back at the farm. This here. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Like I said, tomorrow night we're going to be on Emerald Coast if everything works out. And I'll be able to show you guys a way cool new feature that's being added to Emerald Coast. And as best I can tell, this will be the first map that this feature has been incorporated into. So tune on in tomorrow night and check that out. Till next time, guys, happy farming.